Mining camps, rough places, death duels, and fights of all time. The California Gold Rush was one of the most significant events in California's history. People from the United States and all around the world came to the Gold Rush. The Gold Rush took place from 1849 to 1852. It started when James Marshall found gold while building mines on Shutter Mill on January 24, 1848. Word spread quickly after gold was found. Settlers from Latin America, Europe, China, and the United States rushed to California. They set out to California, motivation to get their fortune. They had the gold fever. Hoping to strike rich. This story is the California Gold Rush in plain English by Maddie, Cherish, Alexis, Hunter, and Will. The journey to California was the toughest part. Every route had their own troubles. Whether they were traveling through mountains, rivers, oceans, and sailing through the Pacific coast. Sailing up the Pacific coast could cause suffering from storms, sicknesses, and spoiled food. Even traveling across North America on the trails had tough hardships. Most were young men coming alone, leaving their family behind. Whether there was gold, camps were set up. Miners spent all day searching throughout mudstones, knee-deep in freezing streams, looking for precious metals. In camp, there was no law, making it tough. There were fights, deaths, and duels. Miners fought over the claim frequently. Exhaustion, poor food, and disease ruined their miner health. In the camps, there were thousands of people in tents and streets were lined up with shops. Miners sometimes cheated off others, tricking slaves to do their mining work. Also, gambling crowd in mining camps, scam miners out their money. Disease was why some miners died during the gold rush times. The disease in California also killed the California Indians. Many 49ers didn't strike rich. They didn't strike rich because when they arrived in California, there wasn't as much gold as they'd imagined to be. There was too many people in the California because before long, all the easy to find gold was gone. Items were very expensive in California. For example, eggs were $6 a dozen and flowers were $400 a barrel. Outrageous prices and getting coined out of their money led to very few getting rich. A lot of miners that were there would have gone home if they had the money. The Chinese were also drawn by possibility of striking rich. The Chinese was welcome at first. When gold became more difficult to find, the miners had a different attitude towards immigrants. They grew suspicious to the Chinese because of their success and their custom. The more Chinese came, the more angry Americans got. When the easy to find gold was gone, American miners wanted government to drive out the foreigners or make them pay taxes and to stay in the mine. The whites, however, did not want the Chinese in California, so they forced them to leave. The Chinese were not treated well. Whites burned their shacks, defeated them. The legacy was to go to California and strike rich and go back to China as rich men. The legacy of the California Gold Rush was the people who came from all over the world in the U.S. to search for gold. In 1850, after it was over, California had enough people to become the first Western state. The huge immigration to California changed all the state permanently. The port city of San Francisco became the capital of banking, manufacturing, shipping, and trade. Also, Sacramento became the capital of farming. Californians lost their land to the newcomers during the gold rush. The number of California Indians reduced because of warfare and disease. The California Gold Rush had a relationship with manifest destiny. because it let people spread out to the west and end with another state out west. The cause of gold rush was when Marshall found gold while building mines, and the effect of gold was California becoming a state. Before the gold rush started, there was 12,000 Mexicans living in California. The population before the California gold rush was mostly just missionaries, some Mexicans, and the gold rush took place in a bunch of different places, including Sugar Mill, Gold Field, San Francisco, and also mining camps. So this is the story of California Gold Rush in plain English by Maddie L., Cherish W., Alexis S., Hunter Will, and Will M.